another episode of Trading Bitcoin with your host, Tone Vays. Let's make sure the audio is perfectly fine this morning because as I move around to different places to do streams, the audio tends to get messed up. Excellent. So it works. Now there's a reason for me to like screw up, but now I'm screwing up on purpose by listening to the last video. Hope you guys enjoyed the podcast yesterday from the Unchained Capital office here in Austin, Texas. And Austin's pretty cool. It will be time to move on soon. I will be heading back to Florida, where they are even more open to the idea of not wearing a mask, which is where I want to live. I don't want to live in a place where you have to wear a mask everywhere, and which is why I am going back to Florida. That's where we're headed next. Let's look at the chart. Lots of things are happening right now. I think Bitcoin is bouncing right now as we speak. We can see it on a 4-hour chart. We're going to go straight to it. By the way, tonight, if you're in Austin, Texas, come out to the Moon Tower Saloon. It is, I don't know, maybe a 20-minute drive from downtown Austin. I'm going to tweet it out, Moon Tower Saloon. I should like pull it up on screen share, but I'm sure you guys can find it. Okay. Screen share. Let's go straight to the 4-hour chart. Oh, maybe it's not bouncing as much anymore. This is very, very interesting. So last night I tweeted out the following. Where is my Twitter? This is my Twitter. So last night, so it was the last tweet I sent before going to bed. That I was looking for a 1 to 4 candle correction. We're just going to go straight to the chart so you can see what I saw when I tweeted it out. This to me was a very similar look to what happened on the daily chart. I was looking for a 1 to 4 candle correction, and then we go back to the upside and go to a new all-time high, probably by Monday. That was my expectation before going to bed. Now, when you wake up, you see that the price has done something totally different. Now, also in that tweet, if you read it right here on the right, it says otherwise. Next Bitcoin support level is 36,400. Why 36,400? That's because this is where the blue line is. I actually probably should have wrote 36,550, but I was on my phone, so I guess I saw it a little bit differently. But hey, might have nailed this number on the money. That should have been probably 500, not 400, but I'm okay with that. It's close enough. It doesn't change much because if the 1 to 4 candle correction is not working out. How do you know that the 1 to 4 candle correction is not working out? Well, it's incredibly easy. This is the 5th candle of the correction. And when you're not able to reverse in 4 candles, and as you can see, I really felt that this candle was going to be the reversal candle based on how that 4-hour candle ended. Oh, man, I'm getting allergies this morning, which is not good. And right now, the 5th candle of the correction took us down. So what am I looking for now? I am looking for a bounce, but it's going to take a little bit longer in time. Obviously, I cannot keep waiting for a 1 to 4 candle correction because we are on the 5th candle of the correction, and the 5th candle is dropping very fast. I don't know the reason for this move, but I am buying this dip. We just fell $2,000 in 4 hours, and I am ready to buy this dip. The moment this video ends, I will most likely go into my GBTC account and I will use whatever I have left to pick up GBTC because I am bullish going into this weekend. So 36,400 was my support level. Now, here's the slight bad news. The slight bad news is I really thought that we would be further along towards the MRI buy opportunity, the MRI bottom. I was thinking that the MRI bottom could come in later today, but as you can see, it's going to take 6 more candles. 6 more candles of 4 hours apiece is 24 hours. So that means the MRI bottom won't come in till sometime tomorrow. But look at the MRI itself. Look how perfectly it once again called the top. I was saying this could be a potential top a day ago, to be careful with this 4-hour MRI top, but I was looking at it as a 1 to 4 candle correction because we are in an uptrend. I am proven wrong by the current candle that this is deeper than a 1 to 4 candle correction. This one was a little bit different because this one, fell so much. I was more, and Bitcoin is in a bullish market. I felt more confident that this MRI bottom was going to be more than a 1 to 4 candle correction, even though it only was a 4 candle correction before it turned down. But as you can see, it did not make a new 4-hour low. I am looking at it the same exact way. I am looking at this as a 1 to 4 candle correction, which has now turned into a deeper correction. But I am not expecting us to go lower than this cluster, because if we do, we are probably on our way to 20-something thousand. And I am pretty confident that we are in a bullish market to challenge these highs. We came unreasonably close to those highs just yesterday. And that makes me bullish that these highs are going to be broken in the very, very near future. I am still incredibly bullish for the end of January, with God knows what clown show going to happen over at the Capitol. There's also something else. I don't want to talk conspiracy theories, but this morning my phone did not recognize my logins on certain apps, which tells me that my phone's operating system was updated. Even though I did not update my operating system, my phone did fully die overnight. And my phone is not set up for automatic updates. But when I went to log in to certain, financial apps that have my banking information, even I think it was my airline, because I have to book my next set of flights, my airline app no longer recognized me, which doesn't happen. That happens almost never. And because that app no longer said we don't recognize this device, it tells me that my phone's operating system has been updated without my consent. Shit is going down really, really badly in the US. And I did hear rumors that they are updating all operating system to prevent Donald Trump from using the alert system, like the Amber Alert system, to announce anything. The world has canceled Donald Trump, which should be scary as fuck to anyone that wants any kind of freedom. You don't have to agree with Trump, but him being censored is really, really bad. Okay, 1 second, guys. Okay, so let's get back to this. Looks like we do have some questions. What if the sudden rise in price is because of the political instability, and when Biden comes into office, there won't be any more volatility in Bitcoin, and it goes to around 20 to 25,000? I don't think so. Anyone should be. I'm scared to see Kamala Harris become president, and I've gotten a lot of shit from some of my followers for saying I plan to, leave the country, because people are saying you need to stay and fight uh, for freedom, basically, like the American way of life, freedom. The problem is, even with articles like in CoinDesk, if you go to CoinDesk, and I tweeted this out last night, if you go to CoinDesk and you just scroll down a little, look at this picture. It's people with an American flag. I guess someone's got a Confederate flag, but it's people with an American flag, American patriots, and the article is labeled as, extremists. Where is it? Extremism. They actually have a category called extremism. And we are living in a world where having an American flag in your backyard, on your house, on your t-shirt, you are considered a dangerous terrorist extremist if you wear an American flag. And that should scare the shit out of anyone living in America. When I was in DC, I ran into situations where um, people feel scared by wearing a mask or anything, not even Trump. We're not talking about a mega hat, just anything with American patriotism. You wear a t-shirt with an American flag, you walk into the wrong neighborhood in America, and by the wrong neighborhood, I mean Washington, D.C., or some parts of other states that are predominantly Americans, and you can get hurt because you are seen as an extremist. And when you have the media completely against anyone who wants to wave an American flag, it makes it very, very difficult to fight for your country when your entire country doesn't want you. Like, the country doesn't want you. If you're an American, if you're an American patriot, if you wave around the flag, America doesn't want you. They want to change that flag to the flag of China or the flag of Russia. Like the other day when a former U.S. senator is doing an interview on Fox News with a picture of Mao in the background. I mean, that's what they want. If you guys haven't seen it, oh man, I just took it down. I don't want to go to my. I was like looking at it yesterday, and I'm like, man, this is insane. Uh, what was it? I think it was Ford. I gotta look at my search history. My computer also restarted last night, so it's possible my computer operating system was also updated. And again, everything to prevent Trump from getting any kind of a message out. And this is the problem. And this is the problem with staying and fight. Like, what are we fighting for? Like, what are Americans fighting for when the country itself doesn't want you? They don't want you. They want to change the flag. By the way, I believe the flag is going to change. That's not a conspiracy theory. This is probably why they want to make Washington, D.C. and Puerto Rico a state, because now it'll have 52 stars and it would look silly with 52 stars. Like, we are witnessing how a country transforms into a socialist communist republic. It's really scary. It's really scary. This is like 1917 Russia is what the U.S. is currently going through, and it's hard to fight for it. Okay. Let's go back to the charts. Let's talk Bitcoin price. Yeah, GBTC is down quite a bit today, and the premium is still low, and I am still bullish, and I still think these highs are going to be challenged. So for me, today is a good day to get back in. This is another buy the dip. I'm probably missing this low. It's okay. I'm pretty dollar cost averaged in this uptrend, so I don't mind. All right, rant on politics somewhat over. So let's go to the next chart. We're going to go up the time frames this time. Okay. Okay, so this daily chart, where's my MRI? This daily chart is not looking great. I am expecting this bounce to continue. I remain bullish. I remain confident that this is the low for the pullback. Can't really explain the big drop today. I did not expect a big drop like this. I remained bullish. I do not see this as a secondary bubble top. Now, it's possible. If we go back to history, if we go back to here, I should use the daily chart. Let me see. Let's go back. I have to go back way back. We're going to go back to 2018. Okay. Here is the all-time high on Bitcoin at 19,500, almost 20,000, 19,600. You can see how the MRI gave you the warning sign and we turned down. We then made a secondary top right here on January 6th. The secondary top was at $17,000. I was bullish. I did not yet. I mean, Tyler Jenks, based on Hyperwave, exited right here around December 19th or December 20th. Tyler Jenks was out. He saw this as a bubble and Bitcoin was going to have a prolonged bear market. I wasn't. I still saw it as, let me do replay mode. Stick it here. When we're here, I still see this as a bullish trend. Look, my moving averages are rising. We're above the moving average. We just bounced off a moving average. So one more day goes by and we bounce off the moving average again. Okay, I'm a little concerned because we have a new low close on a daily chart, but we are still in a bullish uptrend and we just had a very good correction. We just fell 40%, 38%, and we fell 43% a week earlier. So I'm okay. I am cautious, but I am still bullish. Next candle, great. We're bouncing right off the moving average. Next candle, we're still bouncing off the moving average. Why be concerned? Why be concerned? I have my next hurdle. If we can break this resistance level, if we can go to a new swing high, we're good. Okay, boom, right there. We broke it. We are heading for a new MRI top. I am very bullish here, very bullish. We just broke this swing high. We're going to challenge this swing high. This is now my next hurdle. When is my next concern? Well, at the next MRI top. Let's look at next candle. This is January 8th. We just made a new closing high. Great. Next candle, we fell a little bit, but the MRI count is doing well. We're got 3 more days to go, and then we'll probably have a little correction, and then we're going to challenge these highs. I am still bullish right here. I'm still bullish. Now I am a little more concerned, but I am still bullish. If you find those old videos, I am still bullish. I like the bounce off the 50-period moving average. We have broken this high. We have not broken this low. Why am I concerned? I'm not. A little more concerning right here, but we are still holding the moving average. If we close below this moving average and we start challenging these lows, that becomes a big problem. And on January 10th, the next day, that's when I became a bear. Oh, sorry, day after, January 11th then. I am still bullish here. There is no reason for me to be concerned. That is a reversal candle. We closed high. We did not close below the moving average, so it must have been January 11th or 12th. January 11th, there it is. That is when I become concerned. This right here, I had already been talking about potential bear market, potential 1300, but this is when I become a bear. I even think I had an image of my title of every video I did during these days. And this is when I start to become a bear. And if the next candle stays the entire candle below this moving average, we are in a bear market. And the next candle stayed fully below the moving average. We are now in a bear market. If I was not yet convinced that it's a bear market, I have one final hurdle. A close below this line completely flips me to be 100% bear. Not yet. Not yet. And there it is. This is the big crash. Sorry, guys, I have to sneeze. Okay, and we're back. Forgot to unmute. So, and that is the ultimate break. So, and then you know what happened, and then it just wasn't. It was all downhill for a year. Nice buy right there off the MRI, but now the moving averages start flipping, and this is where another MRI, and like you keep hoping that it's going to go up, but it's just you're in a bear market, and it just keeps getting worse and worse and worse and worse and worse. And now these moving averages are flipping, and another buying opportunity. Okay, it's going to be okay. It's going to be okay. And now you're making this ridiculous descending triangle. Again, you try to make it. Now the moving averages are dropping. They're acting as resistance. Another MRI top. It's going to take you down. And well, just for a few candles. You made it. You think there is hope. You still can't break the high. You're going into another death cross. And you made it right into the death cross, and down you go again. You know, and this continues until you form a massive descending triangle. There's really nothing you can do. You're in a year-long bear market. And every time you try to go up, it just drags you down. You know, another MRI top right there with the moving average rejections. Lower high once again on the big time scale. I don't know why I'm clicking it. I could just, you know, put the speed up and hit the play button and let it do it on its own. And until you get to this point where you're just completely, all this resistance has mounted. You made this giant descending triangle, and the only path for it at this point is down. Just nowhere else for it to go. It's just down. And then you break down in a big catastrophic crash until you finally have a bottom. But it still takes a while. Like, look at these moving averages. They're hurting you until eventually you can break above them. And there it is. Let's pause that. Well, I'm going to just let it go. It's kind of fun to watch. The path of Bitcoin. And this was another monster descending triangle that took place last year. Made that new low with COVID crash, and here we are in 2020. There's 2020. It's kind of cool. I like watching this. It's actually a good way to get those. Oh no, those numbers do not stick around historically. All right, and here we are today. So let's do this. Let's do this. Let's close that. And let's see what's going on. Today is a pretty rough day. I was very bullish. I am looking to buy this dip into the weekend. I normally don't. But to me, this is a structure. When do I get concerned? Well, just like I explained. I get concerned if we can break these lows. If we break these lows, we are going to the $20,000 range. So it's great that I put my condo up for sale because at that point, I will potentially have more money to put into Bitcoin because I am so uncomfortable with what's going to happen politically and economically in the US that I have never been this bullish on Bitcoin ever. I've never been this bullish on Bitcoin. It is absolutely bullish to me. Am I going to leverage this to the gills to the upside? No. But to me, this is the time to dollar cost average. Hey, we have a super chat. Thanks, Nick. You didn't leave a comment, but thank you. Okay, let's look at some Q&A. We can look at the weekly chart. The weekly chart is not yet a concern. And And I'm still hoping this becomes a decent candle by end of weekend. All right, super chat or chat. Let's see what you got. Tone, what if we already had the first bubble before COVID? It's possible, but as a believer in my own indicators, MRI, I want to see the top on in 2 weeks. So I don't believe we had the first bubble. I don't. Is it possible we had the first bubble? Yes. So if I look at the daily chart, it's possible we had the first bubble, and this is that bull trap, also called return to range on a bubble chart. It is possible, but I am not sure, and I will be sure maybe if we cross 34, but probably if we have to cross 33. As long as we stay above those areas, I remain bullish. I am still bullish. I still believe in this move, and I remain bullish. I'm not sure what's going on with the new stimulus package. I haven't gotten the last one yet. Yeah, anyone that says that Trump printed too much money is insane. The Democrats would have printed way more, and they're going to print way more in 2021. So the chances of Unconfiscatable conference happening in April are very high. The chances of it happening in Las Vegas are probably low. So we will move it to a state with some freedom. I may move this conference out of Vegas altogether, which means the poker game is going to be challenging because it's hard to do poker games outside of Las Vegas. But I am I'm mad at Las Vegas. I'm mad at how blue they got. I'm mad at how socialist they got. I'm mad at their restrictions, and I am strongly considering of moving the conference to Miami, Florida. But at the moment, I am very interested in doing the conference. People are saying go to a low-level time frame. It looks scary. It doesn't look scary to me. It doesn't look scary to me. Let's wait for the MRI. If the MRI is giving me, yep, there it is. In 3 hours, we will have a very critical support at 34, and it'll probably be an MRI buy in the hourly chart, and I want to take that trade. So I will be looking to buy this dip. I still have some. I still have some ability to buy this dip. Correct. So as GBTC, as Grayscale accumulates more Bitcoin, GBTC premium will go down. However, the retail FOMO has not yet set in, so I'm still expecting that premium to go back up. I'm sure GBTC is taking a bit of a nosedive, and I'm okay with that. I'm actually okay with that. I am bullish Bitcoin right now. I'm not a big trend line guy, but we still have a trend line. This is a beautiful support cluster coming up at 34. 34.5. And if we do fall to 23, I have no problem hodling through this dip. We are in a bull market. We're in a bull market. In fact, if we go to something lower like this area of 20,000, man, that's going to set up for a much higher first bubble of 2021 because it would have reset. And at some point, I would love to see Bitcoin come back to 20K just because it is. Well, actually, because it is 20K. And that would completely reset the chart so that I don't have to worry about 20K ever again in my life. See, I was concerned about 1500 all throughout 2018. And the reason I was concerned about 1800 all throughout 2018 was because we never properly reset 1200. See this big gap? I didn't want that gap. I wanted this pullback to go all the way and close this gap. I didn't want that gap, but the gap stayed. So if we can touch 20,000, even now, I think we're going to bounce ridiculously quickly. I'm not sure what those arrows are. I need to move these up. I just moved them out of the way probably. So if we can somehow hit 20K, even 19.6 would be perfect. That would set us up really nicely. So I don't really mind that. I mean, I'll be fully in because I don't know where this dip's going to end. And I'm very bullish for 2021. Unreasonably so. Unreasonably so. And I think right now, I'm also happy with this dip. I don't know, maybe Coinbase is down again, not letting people buy. Who the hell knows how competent that company is. No, I don't think Bitcoin is that correlated with the dollar on a short-term basis. I don't. Bitcoin has too much speculation, up or down. So the dollar doesn't matter all that much. I might hold out a few more hours to try and catch the hourly MRI. But the 4-hour MRI is not really close. The 4-hour MRI still has the rest of the day. But to me, we are now falling too far too fast. And I'm still confident in this being a dip. I still like these dips. I'm not ready to turn bear yet. How's the market doing? Stock market is doing fine. Stock market is having no volatility today. It's just limited to Bitcoin. Stock market is a little bit down today, but not a big deal. We can look at the dollar. Remember, the dollar was on its own MRI buy opportunity, and I pointed that out. The dollar hit its own MRI buy, and we're in the middle of a 1 to 4 week bullishness for the dollar. But I have no more confidence in the dollar. This should be a green arrow. I don't have confidence in the dollar. How's gold doing? Probably down as well. Where's gold? Yep, there's gold. Gold is still down. but the gold chart doesn't look very bullish. It looks like it wants to take out the low. What is this chart? Oh, it's the Ethereum chart. Well, Ethereum is going to be similar to Bitcoin. The monthly chart has it updated. Updates at the end of the day. Well, someone is asking about arbitraging Bitcoin and Ethereum on like the GBTC equivalent. Well, you guys, you have to do your own research. Like I'm spending a lot more time getting the exact GBTC premium. I mean, trading takes work. Trading takes work. And there's definitely an Ethereum premium that is very different than the Bitcoin premium based on when the lockup periods end and how much demand there is. What the media has done to people's brains in convincing them that anyone that sneezes has COVID and that they're gonna die is basically like I think those people should be imprisoned for life. For life. The people that scared you on how deadly COVID is should be in prison for life. That includes certain media people. Should be in prison for life. Includes Fauci as well, by the way. Like a person that has allergies to some pollen is now a threat to humanity on the entire planet. This is how people have been brainwashed. I like that. Someone says Tone needs to go out more. That's all I do is go out. That's all I've been doing for the last 3 months is going out and seeing as many people as I can. And guess what? Still no COVID. Done my best. Done my best to catch it. Still no COVID. I could catch it. I've probably caught it 8 times by now. Never felt a single symptom. Never infected anyone because I never felt a single symptom.
COVID talk.
Hey, COVID talk, yeah.
Yeah, it's weird. I know people that have basically stayed put and saw almost no one and they get it. And then meanwhile, I'm like, I flew 3 times and did a road trip through America at the peak of COVID. And I don't know.
I mean, at the peak of COVID, I was on the most crowded airplane for 16 hours in March 20th from Africa. And most of the plane wasn't even wearing a mask. If you're healthy, you're healthy. We've all probably had it. And most of us never felt a single symptom.
I had the flu like 4 weeks ago and lost when I get the flu, I lose my sense of taste anyway. So it's like, I don't know what the big deal is, honestly. If the media didn't exist, COVID wouldn't exist. It would just be like, oh, extra 100 people died from flu.
By the way, people are already saying that the annual death statistics for most countries have not actually changed.
Yeah, there's no
And I don't know how they're going to fudge those numbers. But when you look back at 2020, historically, I don't know how you make up people to make them
they'll just
die.
Say, you know what? They'll just say, oh,
they'll have
these people who were 500 pounds died too early.
Right.
That's what they're gonna say.
Right. Well, right. No, but yeah. So I don't know how they're gonna find a way to change history and like, hey, Instead of this bar being 2020, let's increase it by 40% to make it
I
look
think every
historically
country's
bigger.
going to be different though, so that's going to be interesting because not all countries are just going to lie because there's some already that are like, no, we're not going to shut down and stuff. So I think a place as cohesive as Japan is just going to be honest. So, and the West respects Japan in general. So we'll see. I mean,
Oh, there's the bounce. Crap. I need to go buy GBTC. I'm bullish right here off this bounce. I'm bullish here. This is, to me, this is just a scare. To me, this is just a scare.
hope so.
I'm very confident in new highs. Hmm? It's not. There is some, but it's not hot. Is the
Yeah,
problem?
what's the one in it?
Awesome. Thank you. Hi to Julia, guys. That's a great question, comment, Carlino. If USD is going to be devaluing, is it worth selling Bitcoin for dollars? That's a great question. And at the moment, I don't think the dollar is going to devalue immediately. I still give America, 6 to 12 months before people start to realize that it's slowly going to turn into Venezuela. There's still some time. You still have a year to make your exit plan because remember, Kamala Harris is not going to be president until 2 years from now. 2 years. You have Biden for 2 years, and he ain't going to do nothing crazy. Because if he does anything, you may have, may excite him a little too much, and down goes Biden. And you can't have Kamala as president prior to 2023 because she wants to run 2 more times and she wants to be your president for 10 years. And they're going to make sure that she is because she's one of the, probably the worst people they could have chosen. And look at our bounce. We are bouncing right now. This is the 4-hour chart. I was on a stream with you guys. I was talking about going into my GBTC and buying it. Probably should have had my brokerage account opened. Could have picked up some nice GBTC on the dip. I'm still liking this dip. Let's go to the 1-hour chart. There was another super chat, I think. What do you think about BTC? Am I back on screen share? I think I am. What do you think about BTC up or BTC down? I'm not sure what that is. Not exactly sure what that is. So I'm going to hold off on that. I don't want to keep the stream too long. I actually want to log into my account. Well, I agree. No one should ask what are they hiding because the entire U.S. Constitution, as written in the 1790s, or sorry, 1770s, was the entire document was based around you can't get your hands on what they're hiding. That's what the whole document was about. Leverage contract on Binance. Yeah, that was useful. We've looked at it in the past. I have to take a look at it again. Kamala Harris is, to me, she's incredibly dangerous. Like to humanity, to me, she's incredibly dangerous. Trump wasn't dangerous to humanity at all, but Kamala Harris is. To me, she's incredibly dangerous to humanity. Yeah, start taking a look at global, end of year death statistics now that the year is over, and see where they stand. How are deaths different in 2020 then 2019, 2018, 2017. But you got to go more back more than 3 years. Our modern medicine has been about the same for the last 10 years. Hasn't improved that much. You got to go through the last bear market because a lot of people committed suicide. So due to the global shutdown, suicides went up. So to me, suicide deaths are COVID deaths. They're caused by COVID. They're caused by politicians shutting down economies and making people depressed. And a suicide death is a real COVID death. It's the death because of stupid policies due to COVID. But someone that's 95 years old that was probably going to die this year anyway, that shouldn't be a COVID death. But a suicide due to depression to me is 100% COVID death. I don't watch Alex Jones. I've actually never seen Alex Jones. Well, that would be kind of a lie. I would say I've seen a few hours of Alex Jones, but in aggregate, it's not like I watched a single episode for 3 hours, or I don't even know how long his episodes are. I would say like 10 minutes here, 20 minutes there, and it'll add up to like an hour or two. That's all the Alex Jones I've seen. Actually, the most Alex Jones I've seen was when Julia, the one that just walked over, hosted in Alex Jones's place when he decided to just go do something else. He was like, hey, Julia, host my show. So that was the most I've seen of Alex Jones's show. He wasn't even the host. Julia was. Man, people are just stupid. Someone is saying Trump is a KKK member. Do you have any idea how many, minorities, Black people, Spanish people, Hispanic people Trump has hired throughout his businesses? You people are insane. Insane. And he hired them because they were qualified, not because he had to meet some kind of quota. Tone, aren't you afraid that they are going to make Bitcoin a scapegoat funding the extremists? What do you mean? That's already happening. Didn't you guys see my article? Didn't you guys see well, not my article, but didn't you guys see the article I pulled up? It's right here. Where'd it go? Right there. There it is. That is the article. This is in CoinDesk. This is not some conspiracy, left-wing publication. CoinDesk. Alt-right groups received 500,000 in Bitcoin months before Capitol riot, Chainalysis says. They're already doing it. They are already doing it. It's a conspiracy theory to them because a guy was a Bitcoiner was dying, and he wanted to do something with his Bitcoin because he didn't have any kids, and he decided to give that Bitcoin to the causes that he believed in, which was saving America. And CoinDesk is writing an article how Bitcoin is funding extremism because they categorize this article as extremism. See it right there. Extremism. Oh, where'd it go? Is CoinDesk watching? CoinDesk, are you watching? Just remove this article. It's okay. I tweeted it for you. Where'd it go? Let's go to my Twitter. By the way, I have good news for you guys. I got my Mastodon account back. That was awesome. So I am on Mastodon. Where the hell is it? This is my Mastodon account. Check this out. Here's my Mastodon account. Oh, I don't know what that was. So this is my Mastodon account. I still not very good at using this platform. I actually couldn't even find it. It's bithackers.org. So it's not even Mastodon. So I'm not really sure how this federated model works. But this is me at Tone Vays at bitcoinhackers.org. Got 500 followers already. And I may be able to get Tone Vays on Gab, because apparently the person that has Tone Vays on Gab reached out. And he's actually a fan and not a troll, which is rare. So that's great. So thank you for that. So I may be able to get my account on Gab as Tone Vays. In the meantime, wait, we'll go back to the chart in a second. What was I gonna do? Oh, the question about the extremism part. So I love this. Absolutely love it. 50,000 restaurants are going to open in Italy, telling screw the government and screw the masks. Here, extremism, right? So Bitcoin is already being blamed. Wait, what was I? Actually, I forgot what I was going to show you. But yeah, Bitcoin is already being blamed for it. So, like, what are you going to do? Hey, guys, I'm going to retweet this tonight, 6 p.m., Moon Tower Saloon, Austin, Texas. I'll be getting a drink. Come down. And what was the other thing I was going to show? I guess that's it. Let's go back to the charts. Oh, I'm loving this bounce. Absolutely loving this bounce. Happened right on the air. Look at this 1 hour chart. Right off support. Man, see, now I'm mad I wasn't in my trading account. I mean, I was saying right here I was going to try to buy, but like I'm online with you. So I don't even want. I may not buy anymore. I may just like I don't have that much. I don't have that much free cash left. I'm pretty invested, but I'm not leveraged. I'm not leveraged. Bitcoin can fall 50% and I'll be fine. I'm not leveraged. Oh, I looked at the Mexican peso recently. It's been rising. This is why I plan to go to Mexico in a month or two, or soon. I still have some business to finish in Florida. And I still have some business to finish in Nevada, just to make sure I'm moving my conference out of there. I want Nevada. I mean, my conference isn't big, but I want to make it clear to some of the people that I work with in Vegas that, get your governor to change his policies, or I'm never going to come back here for my conference. Man, is Florida going to get a lot of business? Conventions. Look, I had the last conference in America before COVID, and then BitBlock Boom was able to pull it off in the middle of COVID. And I'm not going to let another conference beat us to be the first conference back after COVID. So unconfiscatable is going to happen. The question is where. Here it is, unconfiscatable. We'll have to change the background. We'll make it a Miami skyline. I mean, Tampa's an option, Jacksonville's an option, but it's got to be Miami. I mean, this is a fun conference. Maybe we'll, I don't know, I got to look into doing a poker game offshore. I'm sure there are like gambling kind of cruises that go offshore into international waters. And maybe we can do a poker game on one of those. Like, these things need to be, legal and sanctioned. And I can't wait. Axe throwing is going to have to go. I don't think Miami has that. We're going to do it, though. Do it in Miami. Did you guys see it yesterday? The mayor of Miami? Right there's the mayor of Miami.
Welcome back to the show. You're putting government money into a very volatile cryptocurrency. You want to explain why you're doing that?
Sure. If I would have done it last year, I would have made 200 plus.
Waters, and he's with us now. Sir, welcome back to the show. You're putting government money into a very volatile
Can you hear it?
Cryptocurrency.
Yeah.
You want to
No, you
explain
can't.
why you're doing that?
Sure. If I would have done it last year, I would have made 200+%. So I would have looked like a genius. But we want to be one of the most crypto forward and technological cities in the country. So we're looking at, number one, creating a regulatory framework that makes us the easiest place in the United States to do business if you're doing it in cryptocurrencies. We're looking at laws from Wyoming, Wisconsin, and
sorry guys, you can't hear it. But go to my Twitter. As long as I still have Twitter, because I'm probably switching. Once I get the account on Gab, I'll probably switch to Gab, and I'll try to also mimic that on Mastodon. But it's the mayor of Miami talking about how he's going to be investing, the city's money in Bitcoin, and how he wants investment in Bitcoin, and how he wants, Bitcoiners to go to Miami. And I'm all for it. Man, should get him as a speaker for Unconfiscatable if I move it to Miami. Tesla. I think we were talking about Tesla being at a top. I gotta double check Tesla. Man, what a shitcoin this is. How's Tesla doing? Yeah, see, Tesla topped. That's a weekly MRI top and a daily consolidation. Look at daily MRI top. It doesn't get any cleaner than this. Tesla top. I mean, if you sold perfectly, right here, daily top, weekly top. And if it breaks this green line, you can go back in. I don't know, I'm fascinated by Bitcoin here. Look at this beautiful bounce. Right off the support. I even drew the trend line here. Everything was lining up. We were doing this video this whole time. And loving this bounce. Loving this bounce. Love it. They're all centralized. Everything is centralized. Guys, I don't understand. Bitcoin is the only thing that is actually decentralized. Everything else is centralized. Gab, Ethereum, they're equally centralized. Like, they're not these. I don't know why people think that this shit on top of Ethereum is somehow more decentralized than Gab. It's not. It's just ran by people that don't censor you because they're not big enough to censor you and they don't have a political agenda yet. But there's not much difference between the centralization on Twitter or centralization on Ethereum. Like, they're all centralized. Like, I don't understand why people think that anything in crypto is decentralized unless you are Bitcoin or you are on top of Bitcoin. If you're not on top of Bitcoin, well, even if you are on top of Bitcoin, you are probably centralized even still. Like, you guys think that you wave a magic wand and you have decentralization. That's not how decentralization works. Like, the Liquid is as decentralized as it gets on top of Bitcoin. Lightning is as decentralized as it gets on top of Bitcoin. And then you have people that hate Bitcoin constantly talking about how Lightning is centralized. It's more centralized than Bitcoin, but it's more decentralized than any other project. Any other project. So, like, if you go to tonevays.com and you go to the blog and you read what is crypto decentralization, like here, like pull up this chart by Lucas. Here's Bitcoin. This is decentralized. Everything else, you can make an argument that it's all centralized. But it's a hard argument to make. And people say, well, mining is centralized and Bitcoin has no privacy. And Lightning, here, layer 2, which is the Lightning network as part of layer 2. Well, Lightning is centralized, but every one of these things individually is more decentralized than the underlying layer of Ethereum. Like, grossly more decentralized than the underlying layer of Ethereum. So because your ultimate underlying layer is decentralized. And what makes the underlying layers decentralized is this giant octopus of connectivity. Mining is part of Bitcoin. I don't see where the nodes come in here. Probably they're not technically a project on top. They're part of Bitcoin's decentralization. But read my article. So Liquid, sidechain, Lightning Network, they are as decentralized as you can get with a decentralized underlying layer with little elements of centralization, little tiny elements of centralization. But there is a gross giant element of Ethereum's centralization. It's a skinny guy walking around China somewhere speaks Russian. Okay, there is absolutely like all of this stuff is more decentralized than anything in Ethereum, including the entirety of Ethereum itself. And by the way, this chart is old. This is like a year old or more. Like this is way bigger than this by now. This is only the beginning. This is only the beginning. And good luck understanding all of this, right? There's like hundreds of people programming each one of these things. Well, maybe not Omni. I think that one's dead. But other than that. And some of these have like shitcoins involved, which is unfortunate. But Lightning doesn't, and Liquid don't. Okay, read this article. Read this article. Must read. Must read. Whoa, what are you guys sending me here? Seminole Hard Rock Hollywood Poker Room. Yeah, how close is that to Miami? Like I like everything to be near me. Tone, can you look? Oh, the Mexican peso. Damn, I knew I forgot something. Nope, it's got to be USD. Yeah, it's doing great. It's doing great. You know why it's doing great? Because Mexico isn't mask crazy and lockdown crazy. It's doing great. It's probably going to strengthen more. Man, I can see in 20, 30 years that Mexico is where U.S. wants to, like the U.S. will be Mexico, and Mexico is going to be like, Mexico is going to flip U.S. and Canada. I can see it. I've never had the flu in my life. I actually don't know how a flu feels. I get a cold once a week, and I have like random, like a day of like random allergies, like totally random. And I'm usually good by the afternoon. I've never had the flu. I can't remember the last time I had a raised temperature above normal. I can't remember the last time I had a fever. We are talking at least a decade, the last time I had a fever. I've had food poisoning like once or twice, but I was younger. That sucked. I remember I had food poisoning in college. We were driving through Utah somewhere on a geological expedition. And I had one more when I was in New York. I had food poisoning. So twice. Not food poisoning. Yeah, food poisoning, I guess. I've never had the flu. No idea how it feels. It's been at least a decade and a half since I had a fever. Maybe 2 decades since I had a fever. Not counting food poisoning. Oh, the wall is going to stop the Americans from going to Mexico. I always thought that was a conspiracy theory. Not anymore. Not anymore. Well, Dr. Vays doesn't think the world is overpopulated, and I don't want to kill people because the world's overpopulated. So I think my doctor skills are a little better than Dr. Gates, because Dr. Gates actually wants to lower the human population on the planet, and I don't. So I prefer my doctor skills to Dr. Gates. I don't believe the world's overpopulated. I don't think the world has a population problem. I think the world has plenty of land. I think the world has plenty of water, though people shouldn't be wasting water. I think the world has the technology to make clean water. I am not in the eugenics camp of forcing people to stop to eat meat and make them unhealthy and have them all just die. Okay, anything else in the live chat? We got to get going, guys. I want to... Is it too late for me to buy the dip? Might be too late for me to buy the dip. I hope you bought... whoever bought the dip probably did well. Might be too late for me to buy the dip. I'm going to log in to my GBTC. I may still pick some up. Moon Tower Saloon tonight. We're going to have a drink. Had some good barbecue last night. Barbecue last night was great. Shout out to On-Chain Capital for organizing that little barbecue last night. So I also thought Gab was going to be shut down, but apparently Gab runs its own servers. They don't depend on AWS. So Gab may not be shut down that easily. By the way, going back to CoinDesk, this extremist... Oh, where the hell is it? So if I go back to this extremist, apparently donated money to Gab as well. Like all of these alt-right groups that include Gab and, other supporters of American patriotism, who CoinDesk is referring to as alt-right. I mean, CoinDesk is really embarrassing. It's really embarrassing. Like some guy donates $500,000 in Bitcoin to the causes that he believes in that are American, and CoinDesk calls him an extremist. This is why Bitcoin is seen in the eyes of the government as evil, because news publications like CoinDesk, just like companies like Coinbase wishes Bitcoin never existed. They just want the scammiest of shitcoins like Ripple. And CoinDesk wants the same thing. They wish Bitcoin never existed, and they want the scammiest of shitcoins to promote. I remember when they were promoting Steemit. I gave them shit about that. Okay, that's it, guys. I gotta get going. It's a long video. I never meant for these videos. I'm gonna have a timer soon. I'm gonna have these videos at 15 minutes tops. I like this dip. I wasn't scared of this drop. I still think we're gonna break the all-time high very, very soon. I was saying this weekend by Monday, this drop could derail that, but at the same time, I'm very bullish Bitcoin right now. Very bullish Bitcoin, bearish on America. Good job. This is what happens when you cheat in an election. Your citizens will no longer want to live there. If I thought that Biden won fairly, then Biden won fairly. But if you watch the election live, you know what happened. Did the S&P bounce? I don't know, maybe. Oh, wow, look at the S&P bouncing too. I mean, Bitcoin has always been kind of correlated with the S&P. Is that the 10 a.m. bounce? 10 minutes late. 10:15-ish, 10:10-ish, 10:20, 10:20. Look, Bitcoin is still correlated with the S&P. Look, the S&P is going to a new high and Bitcoin is going to a new high. I don't mind that. And they're about to send helicopter money, so Bitcoin's going to go up more. And Bitcoin's way more liquidity restraint. Someone says, I'd be more worried if Biden did win fairly. True. True. One of my favorite comments is someone emailed me, someone I know, and she was like, it's hard for me to gauge what I should do with my life because I really needed to know in an honest way how many commies are living around me. That's what someone sent me. She's great. That was a great comment. You're right. Maybe we should be more concerned that Biden, if Biden would have won fairly, it's a bigger concern because that means you have more commies living around you, like my friend said. That is a concern. But the thing with that concern is if Biden had won fairly, this is a good like little brainstorm. If Biden had won fairly, the concern there is that people are happy with the Biden win. So it could take another decade before America, devolves into Venezuela ish nation. But because Biden did not win fairly and they cheated in the election, it creates the destabilization of America significantly faster because now you have the majority of Americans who feel they were cheated. And the probability of a civil war is actually higher. See, Venezuela never had a civil war. Venezuela voted in their communist fairly. His reelection was cheated, but they voted him in fairly. And that's why Venezuela never had a real civil war. But because America voted in their socialist unfairly, I'm afraid that it will be hard to avoid a civil war. This is not about what I want. It's about what I think will happen. And it's really getting scary. Really getting scary. Well, it's obvious that Biden is in no physical condition to be president for 4 years. I mean, it's obvious to me. Again, Dr. Vays versus Dr. Gates. It's very obvious Biden is in no condition to be president for 4 years. And if Kamala Harris, if they can prop Biden up to stay president for 2 years, then Kamala can be president for 10 years because they have proven that elections don't matter. They'll just elect whoever they like. So as long as Kamala plays ball, and as long as she does what her masters tell her to do, she'll be president for next for 10 years, picking up from Biden in 2023. See, you may hate Trump, but he didn't have a master telling him what to do. It's like Bernoulli said in my chat. Look, you're not hiring Trump to be a babysitter. Hey guys, I'm not an Elliott wave guy. All right, one last peek at Bitcoin. I'm liking this bounce. The bounce is strong. Would have liked to have it timed with the MRI. That's why I thought I had more time. but we fell so quickly and bounced right off the MRI support line. And if this line holds, I'm still bullish. Still bullish, guys. All right, I want to get going. I want to hang out with my friends, and I got another podcast later today. Shit. We're going to talk to Kiara about her book. So there'll be another book review coming up. So come on back to this podcast in about 3 hours, and we're going to do a book review. All right, guys. I'm gonna make these short going forward. Thank you all for watching, and I will see you all on